We're going to learn how to speechify.
Come along as we listen to one of our faithful volunteers talk about his research and understanding of how to become a history interpreter, a reenactor, a live action historical figure.
What I did with Patrick Henry, he's a very interesting person, someone who speaks to persuade. I focused a lot on his oratorial styles, like his writing and his speaking style specifically. The first thing is that he always spoke with a purpose. So everything that he had added value. For example, his first time that he actually had a lot of influence because of a speech that he made was in something called the Parson's Cause back in 1763, 12 years before John and Samuel Adams started doing their grassroots movement, where a clergy member who had been appointed by the British government was suing his own parish for damages. The Virginians didn't take too kindly to that idea of having a highfalutin foreign wig-wearing minister from England come and be their pastor. They wanted someone to be a little bit more like they were. Patrick Henry, instead of taking the traditional approach that the lawyer might have taken of trying to reduce the damages or get them settled somehow, he went straight to the idea that it's unjust for someone thousands of miles away to be assigning a clergy to people that they don't even know that well. Second of all, he always used strong imagery. I don't know if you know what a siren is, but a siren is those little nymphs from mythology that would sing a very beautiful song and lure sailors to their death, to drown them in the ocean. And Patrick Henry used that imagery of a siren song when he compared the offers of clemency and offers of peace from Great Britain in 1775 to the Americans. And he compared them to a siren song because he wanted the members of the House of Burgesses at the time to think of what it was that they were actually saying with their offers of peace. Was there actually clemency, or was this an offer to lure them to their deaths? The third thing is he always asked rhetorical questions. It wasn't expected that the audience would respond. Often they would. They would yell things at him. In fact, his "Give me liberty or give me death" speech, there's a moment when he says something very inflammatory and the crowd or the room erupts and everyone's saying something about peace, and he addresses that by saying, "Gentlemen may cry peace, peace, but there is no peace." The inaction of the Virginia Convention in 1775 was so great. He posed all of these rhetorical questions to them at the time, and one of my favorites is that he says, "Is it possible to gather strength by irresolution and inaction?" Great Britain is always eating their vegetables and doing their exercises. Is America doing that too? Should things worsen? Because at 1775, Lexington and Concord has already happened. Skirmishes between the British and Americans have happened. People have died on both sides. That goes to the next thing he did. He always used repetition to hound these points into the heads of these, what he thought probably at the time were very stubborn and probably a little more loyalist members of the House of Burgesses. And so he would repeat all the time, like, "We have petitioned, we have remonstrated, we have supplicated. War is inevitable. Let it come, sir. I repeat, let it come." The last one was connecting with his audience. He was always known as being the life of every party. He had stories for days. He connected well with everyone and was generally liked by a lot of people. In those crucial moments, he always drew on things that people connected very deeply with. And being that it was a very religious time in American history, it's no wonder that he said, "There is a just God who will fight our battles for us." The Virginia Convention, 1775, being somewhat of a house divided, loyalists and kind of fence sitters, to kind of unify everyone in this idea that even though you think we don't need to do anything about Britain, and I might think that we need to, if push comes to shove, there is a God in heaven who will fight for us and fight with us. And that's how you speak like Patrick Henry. Very true, very true.